Hello everyone, welcome to the Boys in Blue podcast episode 1, and today we're going to talk about everything Chelsea. Gonna make this a short podcast. We don't want to make it too long. And today we're going to be talking more to do with the Man United game last weekend when we drew 0-0, and looking up to tonight's Champions League, or for you guys tomorrow, for the Champions League game versus Fk Krasnodar in the Champions League. And really, to give you my thoughts, really on the Man United game, for myself, I thought could have been better. Yeah, for the Man United game, I think to myself should have been better. Should have been absolute. The performance didn't really measure up to what I wanted it from Chelsea. But we went there base. Man United were there for the taking, and we didn't deliver on what was taken and all that jazz, and it was just a bit disappointing. But for me, I'll give you the lineup of who we had for the United game. We played 3-4-2-1. We had Mendy in goal with Aspilicueta, Thiago Silva and Kurt Zouma. Then in the midfield we had Reece James, Kante, Jorginho and Ben Chilwell. Then we had Havertz, Pulisic, and up front Timo Werner. It was not a bad side that we went with. Just the only difference, the only difference was that instead of going forwards and everything, we were always going backwards. We were being very defensive, and every time we tried to get the ball up to Timo Werner, it wasn't going anywhere because United kept snuffing the ball out every time, snuffing it out. So it was like we just couldn't do it, and it was up basically. And Edouard Mendy did an absolute, I can't say enough, Edouard Mendy did a madness with the save at the end. It was crazy. It was crazy. What he did was just outrageous. But, like I said, we went there, United were there for the taking, and we couldn't get the 3 points, unfortunately, and bring on Burnley on Saturday, which you guys will be having a preview for on Friday. Now, leading up to, for you guys tomorrow, for me tonight, 6 o'clock UK time, Chelsea play Krasnodar in the Champions League group stage. First meeting between Chelsea and Krasnodar. The first time we'll be in Russia for the first time in 7 years. So, it ain't going to be easy, I'll say that. I'll say that again, it won't be easy. But, the possible lineup which could be out for Chelsea could be Edouard Mendy, we know will start. We have Reece James, Kurt Zouma, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell. Then it's Kante, Jorginho, Mason Mount, Havertz in the middle, and Pulisic. And then up front, Timo Werner. That is for the possible lineups. But we've got to try not to write off Krasnodar. They're 8th in the Russian Premier League. We are around a similar spot in the English Premier League. So, it's not going to be easy. It ain't going to be like... For all of us that saying at Chelsea, we're going to go and win this game. We're going to go and stuff like that. For Chelsea fans who go and say, we're going to win this, we're going to win that, we're going to win this, we're going to win that. Don't say that. We said we were going to go and beat Man United. And we drawed 0-0. So you see what happens when we... You see what happens when we do that? Yeah. Doesn't work. So in future, don't be so... And this is just my word of mouth going out to Chelsea fans. If you guys are watching this podcast and everything, when it comes out, don't say that we're easily going to win. Because we said we were going to go and beat Man United. Chelsea fans were confident that we were going to beat Man United. And what do? We play 0-0, play for a 0-0, and play very defensive. Don't write Krasnodar off at any stretch of imagination. And also, don't write Sevilla off. Don't write Rennes off of France. And also for this weekend, do not write Burnley off. Because I watched them against Tottenham on Monday night. And they give Tottenham a hell of a fright. It took Son to score once, to have one opportunity to literally win the game in the 79th minute. So it's not going to be easy. And for all Chelsea fans that say, beating Burnley's going to be easy, don't say that. Because Tottenham didn't have it all easy. So will we. But I think we could get the win. It's just going to be hard. And don't say that us against Krasnodar is going to be easy, because it ain't going to be easy. It is going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult because we're going into an atmosphere where I think in Russia they're allowing fans in the ground, so it's going to make the atmosphere for Chelsea a lot more harder than it is for Krasnodar, because we're not going to be able to have our supporters there to back us. Krasnodar are going to have fans there that are going to be backing them. So we are more or less make harder for us knowing that we got no Chelsea fans in the ground whatsoever. But Krasnodar will be allowing their fans in the ground, but certain amounts. Because I was watching Lokomotiv play Bayern Munich. Lokomotiv Moscow had their fans in the ground, but no Bayern Munich fans were allowed in the grounds to travel. So it's gonna be hard, but let's see how it goes at 6 o'clock tonight. And I'm going to give you my certain opinions now on some players. And if you guys have skipped a little bit into the video, this is the Boys in Blue podcast. And today we are going to, and in this podcast we talk everything Chelsea. We talk about games which have happened last weekend. We look up to the following games, and if we have any games in midweek in Europe or Cup action, we will talk about them and certain players we think need to be mentioned. And we're going to have a chat. We're going to now talk about certain player. It's going to be a certain player that we're going to have a nice, good chat about, because this player deserves an honourable mention in the games that he's played for us. Faultless. This guy's been faultless. He made one little error against Man United where he tried passing the ball backwards into his own net, but I can understand where he was trying to look for a player and he was just looking in the wrong direction. I don't blame him, because nothing went wrong of it. And that is Edouard Mendy. Edouard Mendy. What can I say? This guy, since we have signed him, has been faultless. This guy's been faultless. Every corner that comes in, he catches it. Every goal kick, every ball that goes in the box, he catches it. What does Kepa do when he does it? He tries to punch it instead of catching it. What does Edouard Mendy do? He catches the ball when he needs to. And that's what we love to see. So, Edouard Mendy, 28 years old, from Senegal. He's played 2 games for Chelsea and had 2 clean sheets. So what can I say about that? Edouard Mendy. So Edouard Mendy got a 0-0 away at Manchester United in the Premier League. He got a 0-0 in the first game of the group stages against Sevilla. He was also in goal. I think he was in goal for the game against Palace, and he got another clean sheet. So that's another clean sheet in the bag for Edouard Mendy. So he's had 1 clean sheet in the Champions League. He had a clean sheet against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. We won 4-0. And in the 0-0 against Man United, another clean sheet. So that's 3 clean sheets, 1 in the Champions League, 2 in the league. So far for us, he's got 2 clean sheets. I would say 3. I'm going to not brag, but I'm going to say in the 3 games he's played, he's got 3 clean sheets, 1 Champions League, 2 in the league. Faultless. The only game he didn't play for us in the time he's been with us was Southampton, where I think we could have done him for that. But Edouard Mendy, brilliant. Can't say much about him. The other guy that also we're going to talk about here that also deserves an honourable mention, Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva, in that game against Man United when we drew 0-0, it was a boring game to watch. But Thiago Silva's defending was, oh my God, superb, exquisite, superb, magnifique, everything. He just did defending to a T. We wanted Thiago Silva to do proper defending. He did it against Manchester United. And in the big game, he delivered. He delivered where it mattered most for Chelsea. And that's what we wanted. Oh, I still can't get it out of my mind, because this was just one of the best moments I think he's had in a Chelsea shirt. By far, was within the dying minutes of this game. He blocked a shot from Cavani where it looked like if it didn't block it, it was going in. That's what we want. We want your body on the line. And that's what Thiago Silva did. And Edouard Mendy did. Did saves and blocks. Everything. Them two were just rigid from the back. Thiago Silva is just superb. That guy is just an absolute playmaker. That guy is. He is brilliant he's been brilliant for us. In the games he has played for us, he's played in the 0-0, which he was superb in. Seville, he was superb in. Even though it was a boring 0-0, at least it meant we didn't concede. I think he played in the Palace 4-0. So, and in that game, he was really good. He was really good in that game. The 3-3, a bit against West Brom, a little bit lacklustre because he made an error that led to their second goal and everything else. But apart from the West Brom game, he's been good in every game for us. And that's good to know. Another one we're going to talk about is Havertz and Timo Werner now. Havertz and Timo Werner since coming in. Havertz been really good. Just a little bit taking time to get used to the Premier League. And also, originally he wasn't playing in the position he wanted to be. But now he's starting to play in Lampard's now put him in the number 10 role where he wants to be, because that's Havertz at his best when he's in that position. And it gives him good support for Timo Werner, which is brilliant, especially if you go back and watch Southampton when we drew 3-0 and we literally conceded and went up the other end and Timo Werner stepped off Havertz. That was 121 seconds between us conceding to make it 2-0 for us going 3-2 up. Shows. With players like that, we can do anything. And for me, Havertz is good. Havertz has played 6 games for Chelsea, 1 goal, 1 assist. So, the first goal was against Southampton for us, for Southampton. Yep, I remember that, Southampton. I can't remember the other assist he did. But if any of you guys want to put down in the chat of his podcast, you can let me know what assist he did. The other one, Timo Werner. Faultless. This guy has played well for us in most games. Just the United one, he was just a bit isolated because we tried to get balls up to him, and United would just snuff the ball before it even got to him. Because they would know we would lob it up forward to Timo Werner. Southampton was the best for him. He literally had 5 Southampton defenders and players around him and still managed to score. Then, a ball lobbed over the top by Jorginho. Then, he then lobbed it over McCarthy in the Southampton goal and then headed it into the net. He was cheeky beyond belief in that goal. That goal is beyond cheek. But for me, it's not a bad performance. It's not done bad for us. Timo Werner has played 6 games, 1 assist, 2 goals. And he's done not bad. Timo Werner can play in 4 positions. He can play as a striker, a left wing, a centre attacking midfielder, and he can also play as a centre forward. But his main role is a centre forward, but he can also play a striker, left wing, and a centre attacking midfield. So that is handy. Handy at the best of times for Chelsea, but at the moment he's doing really well for us. He's just got to go and just hope it all goes well. And then we'll just see how it goes game by game. We just got to wait and see how it goes. And stuff will arise. The other thing I'm going to talk on now is something that is a bit of not a grey issue, but people are getting a bit annoyed by this issue. The fact that people get annoyed that that Lampard was overusing Mason Mount. Right. Lampard overusing Mason Mount is because if he's playing well, then he's going to use him more. And also at the time, Ziyech was injured. So we had Havertz playing one side, we had Mount playing the other. And also Pulisic at that time, I think wasn't fully fit. So Pulisic wasn't starting in games, so Mount was starting. And now that Hakim Ziyech is now fit, and Pulisic is now fit, when we might see Mason Mount have minutes but not play as much, because we might be having Pulisic on one side and Ziyech on the other, and I love that. I can't wait for the first time that we see Ziyech start a game and have Ziyech on one side, Pulisic on the other, have it in the middle, and Timo Werner up front. That'll just be amazing. That'll just be speed beyond belief. Speed beyond belief. Mason Mount has played 5 games this season, and he's also scored 1 goal this season. Mason Mount can also play as a central attacking midfielder, but can also play as a centre midfielder, left wing, and right wing. So that's actually a good thing. You can play left wing or right wing. You can play in the centre park, and you can also play as a centre mid and as a centre attacking mid. So that is handy Mason Mount. Christian Pulisic, who I think is, in the games he has played for us, he's actually done quite well. I thought when he played against Man United, he played very well. Chelsea were playing really good passes. It's just that sometimes at the end of it was just a little bit short. It's like, I remember one passage of play when we went from our own goal to United's goal in minutes, and it was just Havertz with just one ball up to Werner that was a bit too much for Werner to get to, and that could have been like an exquisite attack, and it was just short. Pulisic, I thought when he went off against Man United, I thought, Oh no, please don't be another niggle for him. Because of we playing Krasnodar on Thursday. And I was thinking to myself, we don't want him to be injured for it because we would need him just in case to start the game. And it would be the same for Reece James, who went off with a niggle. And it turned out they both were all right. It was nothing bad. And they both went on the plane to Krasnodar, and that's good. That's what we want. Pulisic has played 3 games and is yet to have an assist or a goal. And he can also play left wing or right wing. So that's good if we have someone who, if you want to play, like, switch it up a bit and say, Pulisic go on the left and Mason Mount go on the right, or Mason Mount go on the left and Pulisic go on the right, so it can swap and turn with Ziyech as well. So that'll be brilliant. We're going to have a look at another player. At the moment, we're going to have a look at this other player. If he's... I'm going to give you guys my opinion on a guy called Hakim Ziyech, who I think is a really good talent. I think he's really good. We just got to have a look at what he can do for us. It's going to take time for him to gel. Here we go. Hakim Ziyech. He can play as a centre midfield. He can also play as a right wing and a centre attacking midfielder. So he can play in the middle or on the wings. Great. Take it. For me, it's not really done a lot. He had a few minutes against Southampton. I think he had about half an hour. He had about 20 minutes against Sevilla, and he had about 10 minutes against Man United. So, from what I've seen, because I'm looking on FotMob and stuff for information on these players for you, he had a rating of 6.3 against Southampton. So, it sounds like he didn't do too bad in that regard. Then for the Champions League game, it's a little bit more on the 6.5, so he's a little bit more better. He had 18 minutes against Southampton and 28 minutes against Seville, and he only played 9 minutes against Manchester United. But hopefully we can see him get more minutes today against Krasnodar. But we just have to wait and see what team comes out of what team comes out that Lampard picks, and we go for it. We get the 3 points against Krasnodar, and then bring on Burnley on Saturday at Turf Moor. We're going to have a look at some others that are coming, which is, I'm going to give you my view on this guy. Sorry if I butchered his name. I always seem to do this every time, which is Ben Chilwell. That we bought from Leicester City. He played 3 games for us, 1 goal and 2 assists. He has a rating of 8.07. So it must have been something good that he must have done. That must be a good thing. Because he played... Let me have a look quickly. He played a full 90 against Crystal Palace, scoring his first goal for Chelsea. He played 90 minutes against Southampton, which could have been a lot more better. But he had a 8.9 rating against Crystal Palace, which he also scored in. He's got a 7.7 rating against Southampton, which is good, but could have been a lot better. He had a 7.1 against Seville. It's going down. His performance, it keeps going down, but it's still early in the season, and he had a 7.6 against Man United. So, sounds like something must have happened in the United game with defensive-wise. He did very well. And I agree on that one, but we just got to go for it, do as much as we can, and fingers all being well that Chelsea go and get the win away in Krasnodar tonight. But for you, this will be tomorrow. when you are watching this, it will be the next day. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed episode 1 of the Boys in Blue podcast, where we talk about everything Chelsea. We talked about Krasnodar in the Champions League leading up to that game. We talked about the previous game, which was away, the 0-0 draw against Manchester United. We even picked up on a few players which we think are doing well. Had a bit of a talk about Ben Chilwell, Chilwell, Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic, Mount. What possible lineups we'll be playing for the game against Krasnodar. Talked about Havertz, Edouard Mendy, Timo Werner, Hakim Ziyech, all that jazz. And hopefully, and I'll see you guys for the watch along. I'll see you guys for the next video, which will be on the channel, which I'll see you for is. I'll let you know, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to get posts. When you hit the bell notification, you get updates on the podcast, the watch alongs, the live previews, polls, everything on the channel. Like, subscribe, and bye.